Let's take a look how to create a sample sketch. In Next, under Browse, a web browser, we type in www.siemens.com NX certification. So we see that as we zoom back out, we see that there's a page that we reviewed earlier in a different session. There's our tutorial guide, study guide, frequently asked questions. So what we want to do is bring that web page, and we want to just put that on the left hand side of it, and then minimize our NX session. Next thing we want to do is start. We want to change our unit to a metric. That is very important because all of our exam and results should be in the metric unit. So once we've done that, put in proper location, we go ahead and we see that there's some of these datum axes, datum planes that you can pick either one of them. And then we just want to create, based on what we understand on the left-hand side, we want to create a geometry similar to represent that. By create a diameter, and then now we can change that diameter to radius, so that meets the first requirement. And then we go into view and then make our text a little bit smaller so it fits in that. All right, once that is done, we want to create a vertical. We can start from there. That will give us a particular beginning point, and that will create that tangent geometry. Well, in this case, I really don't want anything tangent, so what I want to do is start from the middle. So I go up, and then I created that. At the same time, I could have created the other one, the angular curve, but I want to quickly show you what we can do to trim this, right? So we want to trim it, and then we want to define that to be a certain height. The height to be about 4 millimeters. So that's what we wanted from the beginning. So once we've done that, and now the next thing what we want to do is create another line from the center line. Doesn't matter, because by the time the geometry properly defined, it doesn't matter what angle that is, but I do want a perpendicular smaller stub line at the end of that, and we want that to be right on 6 millimeter. So we double click on that when we change that value to 6, and then we could have just done that and changed the other one to 51, but I decided to just do the arc first. So we pick the 2 arc endpoint, and then we want that arc to be at 65. So once we define that, that is correct. The only thing is lacking now is the proper length of the angular linear length. So we want to trim that, and then we want to make sure that line is at 65. So once we've done that, we see that there's a linear length. We'll change that to 6 or 51. So now that is done, we see that all that is done properly. So the next thing we'll want to do is we want to create a pattern. No reason to create 3 of these or 2 additional ones when NX has the ability to create a pattern. So I'm just going to drag a corner to corner and then rotate about that. I want 3 of them. And then we want to, if I don't want to do the math, I can use 360 divided by 3. So now I have that. The next thing what I want to do is come back, just trim that out again. As we trim, you see that NX sketch will filled out. So that means that it's properly closed out, which is very important. A lot of times that if you don't have that properly done, it's unable to create a solid or the proper information at the end. Okay, now that's done. How do we create a surface? We want to analyze that. So let's look something to do with a bounded plane. So I'm just going to type in the word bound in my command finder. Once I hit enter, I have this command finder define that bounded plane. It says, hey, what are your bounded curves?